What's going on, trainers? It's your boy MetaDanny back once again with another video for Pokemon Go PvP battles. Now listen, I'm not a pro. I don't have access to millions of Stardust or thousands of candy for each Pokemon. I have to grind up for each Pokemon that I want to use. Yeah, I hope my journey is going to be something that you can benefit from. Of course, I found that I kind of like starting off each video with some interesting experiences that I had. So I was super excited to get a shiny Gibble. So that's super cool. Can't wait to power him up and evolve him, but that's going to take so much dust. But anyway, I hope you've had a good time getting into the Ultra League. I haven't been able to put out a video in a bit because, well, the Ultra League is expensive and I've had to grind up, right? So we're going to be looking at some videos in the Ultra League. I now have a team that has been working well for me. Let me introduce you to this team. In the lead, I have none other than Lapras, water and ice type, which is really bulky and one of my favorite Pokemon since we were playing red, yellow, blue back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Lapras over here is going to be running Ice Shard, which is a legacy move. I caught this Lapras that I have a long time ago, however, I didn't have the mindset to keep it with Ice Beam at the time, so I've got Ice Shard, Surf, and Blizzard. Most people are running Ice Beam on their Lapras. I've also got, as a counter Pokemon over there, Alolan Muk. Now, Alolan Muk is Poison and Dark. Very interesting typing because a weakness of Poison is Psychic, right? But Dark resists Psychic, double resists Psychic actually. So it's an actually very interesting combination over there. Now, my Alolan Muk is running Snarl, which generates energy super quick. We already know this by now, as well as the powerful Dark move, Dark Pulse, and the hard-hitting Poison move, Gunk Shot. Some people run Sludge Wave on there, but I decided to go with Gunk Shot, alright? And in the safe switch, it actually shouldn't be a safe switch, but this Pokemon is so powerful. I'm running Giratina Altered, which is a Dragon and Ghost typing. And look at that. I haven't been able to raise enough Stardust to get a second move on my Giratina. So right now, my Giratina Altered is running Shadow Claw and Dragon Claw. Okay, so let's actually see how these battles go, alright? Yeah, and I'll explain some of the strategies that I'm using as we go along. So let's get into these battles now, shall we? Okay, so there we go. Lapras, Alolan Muk, and Giratina. Now, Ultra League, the first thing that you're going to notice when you're playing Ultra League is, whoo-wee, these matches take a long time. Now, Swampert in the lead. This is something that you're going to come across quite a bit in Ultra League. Swampert is it's really OP, to be honest, because that Hydro Cannon just hits for so much damage. Now, I can see here that they're building up to an Earthquake. So I'm going to shield this up, because Earthquake will do quite a bit of damage. In the meantime, they switch into a Gyarados, which is not bad for my Lapras. So it looks like I am staying in for now. I do shield up the Crunch, so I've gone down a shield. They've also used a shield, so I thought it was okay. I'm going to bait here with a Surf before I switch out. Now none of us have shields. The reason I went into Alolan Muk is it's going to resist the Crunch that Gyarados is throwing, or what I assumed was going to be the Crunch, and it threw an Outrage. So that kind of put me off my game a little bit, but no worries because I think I should be able to take it out. Oh no, they switch into their Swampert. No problem. I'll be able to go back to my Lapras, and once again, Lapras also has a not bad match against Gyarados. So I go all the way for the hard-hitting Blizzard because I want to get this Swampert out of here. Although I probably should have just gone for 2 Surfs, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I should have done. But it's still no problem. What have we got in the back? We know that they're gonna... Oh, they've got a Charizard. Ooh. So I decide to be really smart here and switch to hopefully catch a Blast Burn. It's a Dragon Claw, no problem. Giratina does pretty well against Charizard, so this is pretty much a good game for me because there's nothing that they can do that will really harm me. Dragon Claw is super effective, but it doesn't take that much. It's a pretty weak move. And even if they were to take me out, I've got a Lapras with a loaded up Surf already. So they would have to take me out and have energy loaded for a charge move, which is, yeah, very unlikely. So this is a good first game. This team is really powerful, and I'll tell you why. Giratina, the altered form of Giratina, is so bulky. There's a reason it's been, for a long time, the #1 Pokemon in Ultra League, and by a long margin. It's only this season that that's changed because Cresselia has become even more OP than Giratina Altered was. But yeah, Giratina Altered, even things that are super effective against it, don't take that much health. It's so tanky. So most people are running Shadow Sneak as a second move, and as soon as I build up enough candies, not candies rather, Stardust, then I will give it a second move. But for now, it actually still does really well with Dragon Claw, as you saw in the first game and as you'll see in some of these other games. So here we've got a Giratina. I quickly switch into my Alolan Muk, which will be resisting the confusions, and will be also dealing super effective damage with that Dark Pulse. And they switch into their Articuno. Articuno is very annoying because it keeps throwing Icy Winds, and Icy Winds debuff your attack. But I'm able to get to a second Dark Pulse with this Alolan Muk, and my Lapras will be able to deal with this Articuno, dealing neutral damage with that Ice Shard. Ice Shard is such a hard-hitting move, yo. And it is a legacy move, so you may want to get it if you don't have it. They bring in their Scizor, which is a decent pick for Ultra League, but I've never really used it that much. I mean, Night Slash is super effective. It doesn't take that much. Here's a situation where I would have definitely benefited from having Shadow Sneak, but either way, they got Shield, so it's almost as if I'm shield baiting over here. But look at that. Scizor is many people's counter to Giratina Altered, because, I mean, it resists the dragon moves, it being Steel, and also because it has Night Slash. But my Giratina Altered, even though it doesn't have a move that it's supposed to have to deal with that, still does pretty well. Anyway, I switch into my Lapras. This is pretty cool because Surfs are going to be doing neutral damage, and they will take out Scizor. It's a little bit squishy. They get the attack boost there. Night Slash has a 10%. I believe it's 10%. It might be 12.5%. I'll have to check. Chance of sharply boosting your attack. But that's not enough because it was almost done. And I could have Ice Sharded that Articuno down, but, you know, it might have gone for a Hurricane, and I don't know how much that will take, so I just I just threw a Surf. And good second game. So I'm actually enjoying Ultra League right now, and I'll tell you why. Because every Pokemon has so much more bulk than in Great League, you actually have to use a little bit more. You have to think. You have time to think to use the strategy you want to use. Here we go. I was actually able to say it. All right. So I switch into my Giratina as a safe switch. They switch into theirs, a shiny for that matter. Nice. I also have a shiny, but I think that's the one that I'm going to bring out when I put my second move on it. So now it's a mirror match. Now I do have the energy advantage, so this is a good match for me. I'm likely to win this. Yet notice that this one is also a Dragon Breath Giratina, which means it will take a little bit longer for it to get to its charge moves, but it will do slightly more damage with its fast move than mine is doing. So I switch into my Alolan Muk, and the reason for this is because I'm giving up switch advantage so that I can gain up extra energy. Now they have a Poliwrath, which is a very solid pick as well for Ultra League. There's shields are down, so I can go for the super hard hitting Gunk Shot, which does quite a bit of damage over there to Poliwrath. Their Dynamic Punch will be doing neutral damage because Poison resists fighting, but Dark is weak to it. I can just get to a Dark Pulse, even though their Mud Shots are super effective against me, and this should be taking out that Poliwrath. And I should be able to finish off that Giratina with Lapras, just throwing Ice Shards, and it will give me a ton of energy to throw against what comes in next. So farm this down, there we go, and it's a Venusaur. Now, this would have been a terrible situation, but I have Blizzard, and Blizzard is going to be one-shotting this Venusaur. Look at that. So satisfying, I gotta tell you. And that trainer was probably not expecting that. He was probably expecting Ice Beam, which he would have survived. Then he would have thrown a Frenzy Plant, and that would have been end for me. But Blizzard might be a better idea than Ice Beam, actually. I don't know. Alright, let's get into our next match against Grand Moff Andy, and it's a Lapras mirror match. Now, I haven't come across too many of these, but I was experimenting a couple of times to try and figure out what I should be playing, and I came to the conclusion that Surf is absolutely the move you should be throwing in a Lapras mirror match. Not Ice Beam, like he's doing. If you'll notice, Ice Beam is double resisted because Water resists Ice, Ice resists Ice, but Water moves are only single resisted because Ice doesn't resist Water here. So they get into their Sceptile. I quickly switch into my Giratina, which will be a good counter for Sceptile. Sceptile can learn Dragon Claw and Earthquake. So it's not like it's going to be completely walled by Giratina, but I mean, this is still a pretty a pretty comfortable match for Giratina. I'm able to build up to 2 Dragon Claws. How cool is that? Is the new update, right? That you can actually see how much energy you've got in the back. I think that's pretty cool. They bring in their Gengar. Now Gengar, you know, in the preseason, I played with Gengar and I absolutely loved it, but it's so glassy. You have to keep a shield for it, which they have done, and you have to be playing against something that doesn't resist it. And I've got the perfect counter for Gengar because my Alolan Muk will resist both its moves. I still throw up the shield because even though it resists the moves, Gengar is a really powerful Pokemon. So I know my Alolan Muk is there for Gengar, so when they bring in their Lapras, I quickly switch into my own Lapras, and we get into the very boring mirror match that's going to happen here. Now I'm going to keep going for Surfs because I've already established that that's the better move to throw. And yeah. You know what? I should actually prepare like jokes or something to tell you in these mirror matches, because this is going to take a while. Jeez Louise. I'm wondering if I should put Skull Bash on my Lapras so I at least have something threatened in the mirror match. They switch to their Gengar. I know what's coming. I quickly switch to my Alolan Muk. I'm still going to shield up just in case. But I know that I'll be able to take out this Gengar. I'm even going to... I thought about farming it down, but not necessary. Let me not take the risk. I was actually giving way too much respect to this Gengar. Both Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball would have been resisted. But yeah. I take out their Gengar. Their Lapras doesn't have that much health, and I've got quite a bit of... I've got a bit of energy already on my Alolan Muk. The timer is coming up, which is something that you're going to notice quite a bit in Ultra League as well, is that a lot of matches are going to get timed out. So get as much damage as you can, especially if you see that there's one of those mirror matches that take a lot of time. I was noticing here that there was a bit of lag that started coming in. So I think I took a break around about this point. Yeah, I did. And I tried to record the next match. I believe there was one more match and something went wrong. So I have another, not full set, but a couple of matches that are also, you know, with the same team from a different set of battles that I did. So I'm just going to include those in here as well. Lapras, Alolan Muk, and Giratina Altered. I would love to switch around the team a little bit, but it takes me so long to power up each mon that I want to use. So, okay, here we go. This is a pretty good lead for us because Ice Shards are neutral and Surf is going to do a lot of damage, which we'll be able to get to before they're able to get to their Blast Burn. But their Blast Burn is also going to be neutral against us because of our Ice typing. So, oof. I thought about switching here, but honestly, Lapras probably has the best matchup against this Swampert. So I'm going to stay in with my Lapras, and then I'll keep my Giratina for that Charizard in the back. Okay, so I build up all the way to a Blizzard. Maybe I should have baited, because it was pretty obvious, and because of that I'm kind of forced to switch. Yeah, I really should have baited over there and just gone with the Surf. Or just throw straight Surfs, to be honest. I don't know why I'm even going for Blizzard in the first place. Yeah, lesson learned. Alright, so I bring in my Giratina, which is going to have a good matchup against Swampert, as long as you can shield the Earthquakes that come in. They switch into their Grand Ball. Ooh. Now this is a tough match because Grand Ball has access to Crunch, which obviously is super effective against Giratina, and the Charm is doing super effective damage. Charm will be neutral against the Alolan Muk. Crunch at least is resisted, but they've got that close combat, which I know that's obviously what they're going to throw. It drops their defense a lot, so I'll be able to take them out with this Dark Pulse, which would have been resisted. But yeah, Grand Ball is a tricky one for my team to deal with, because Lapras is also weak to that close combat. Anyway, so we get to a stage where my Alolan Muk is able to take out that Swampert. I've still got a shield, so I'm in a pretty good position. At this point, I'm trying to decide, should I shield my Alolan Muk or should I shield Lapras? Maybe I should have gone Lapras, I think, because look what happens here. They're able to get a Dragon Claw off of me. It might be a good thing because they use up their energy. I switch into Giratina to catch that move, and that's what's gonna win me the game, because now I'm able to get to a Surf on my Lapras, and boom! Yeah, that's a pretty advanced move. You should be able to count moves, but to be honest, I wasn't counting moves. I was just sort of trying to get a feel for when the move would come in, and that's really dangerous. But it worked out for me over there, and yeah, that was a nice set of battles. I enjoyed that. Listen, I'm going to be powering up my Cresselia. I've almost got it with a second move on it right now. So I'm going to have a Cresselia, which is ranked #1 in the Ultra League on pvpoke.com right now. So my next set of battles hopefully will be involving Cresselia. And let me see how I'll build a team around it. It's not like I have a lot of options to choose from, you know what I mean? But that's my team for this week. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something from it, or if you have any questions, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. This is MetaDanny signing out as I struggle to catch this Skarmory. Ugh, I'll see you in the next video.